Bill Cunningham reporting on the recent New York fashion collections for next fall. And what an exciting week it is. The thing that strikes me that's so wonderful is the diversity. The diversity of the audience in the front row, the diversity of the showings and the sites of the showings. They went from a spectacular Marc Jacobs show in the Armory at 25th Street, where he always has it, and builds an enormous set. In total contrast was an enchanting little show by the designer Yoli, held in an abandoned former millinery supply store on 38th Street. Chairs just randomly placed around for the 150 guests, a little banjo combo playing music, an American flag on a stick poked into a hole in the wall, a group of photographers, and I thought, my heavens, that's the way the shows were when I came on the scene in 1948. There was none of the hoopla that we know today. It was this simplicity. I mean, you talk about diversity. The next show is in the former Maine post office, where the mail trucks pulled in to be loaded under a skyline docking area. And fashion as theater could not have been more brilliantly played out than at Tom Brown. It was a huge gallery, and there were male models bound, bondage, I guess you'd call it, to wrought iron beds painted white. And they were all in gray flannel suits, obviously reflecting back to the gray flannel man of the 1950s. And then his models came out in the most fantastic shaped coats and suits. But that's the diversity of Fashion Week in New York. It's just absolutely amazing. And then on the guests coming to the show, that is a show on its own. And I thought this year, the diversity of thought was what interested me, and the contrast of thought were the women indicating the idea that it might happen, full-skirted winter coats, as opposed to others in very classic, mannish-tailored classic coats. Then there was another thing at the shows, on the runway and off the runway, which we haven't had for a number of years, this whole thing about skirt lengths, because most people wore pants or leggings or tights. Well, suddenly, designers are showing hems that are down to the mid-calf. And be careful, we had a fiasco in that in 1970 called the midi, which nearly killed the whole fashion world. It was so awful. But here we come again, and many of the audience I saw reflecting this. And then, of course, color. All of these coats made of blocks of color. And so ideas were floating every which way during Fashion Week. People are always saying, oh, aren't you tired? Oh, my God, I'm not tired. I'm exhilarated.